Fill it.
I drink your milkshake.
You are listening to the Billionaire Podcast Network.
So yeah, how about Get Hard Out, and it's Get Out, but with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart.
Right. Okay.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, and
Or it's Get Hard Out, where a white woman abducts a black guy to just get him horny.
Will Ferrell puts himself in Kevin Hart's body, so he wants to go to jail, but then he immediately gets arrested for a crime he didn't commit.
yes,
Yes.
that's
I
the
think this is
movie.
good.
That's
I
the
think this is
movie.
good. You could also Get Hard Day's Night, and it's just the Beatles all whacking each other off.
Why? Yeah, you know what?
Yes.
That'd be good. Yeah, Get Hard Day's Night, and it's a
Yeah.
Beatles gangbang.
Yeah. That's just the whole movie.
That's
I'll bet that
good.
exists somewhere in some like 60s British gay den.
Yeah,
It's so funny that the
gay.
Beatles, somebody else said this, but the Beatles did like invent gooning. Like they were just like taking psychedelics and beating off.
That's why they're called the Beatles.
Is that it?
Turn
Yeah,
off
that's
your
right.
That's where they got the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, from all
Yeah,
the beating
yeah.
Like,
off.
what if we spelled it after what we love to do?
And I was, this whole conversation makes me think no one has had the balls in Hollywood yet to do a body swap movie, but where it's a white person and a black person that switch bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't they?
I feel like that
That's
has not.
basically that's trading places, basically.
Yes.
And they actually, I think there is a movie where somebody, it's not that they swap bodies, it's that he wakes up as a black man.
Oh,
And then
that was a Little Dicky video. Remember that?
Oh,
yes, there is a Little Dicky video.
It's that
Where he
Rob
woke up as Chris
Schneider.
Brown?
It's that Rob Schneider movie, The Hot Nig.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. Yes.
Have you? Yes. Did you see the sequel where he becomes an Asian?
Go
No, don't.
go ahead, Nik.
Don't.
Go ahead, Nik.
Oh,
What's it called?
Take it away. Run it back.
I heard that.
Listen, it's like jazz. It's about the slurs you don't say.
I heard that was his pitch for the animal, and they were like, "Rob, you should just make it a literal animal." And but I mean, it was the same exact script and the same exact. That's how he thinks black people conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Good God.
How about Deuce Bigelow, male Nigolo? Folks, welcome to the
That's
show.
pretty good.
Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody.
Nik Oldershaw? Nik Oldershaw?
Yeah, Deuce, yes.
How about Deuce the Right Bigelow? And
we'll get started here in a minute.
It's a male man whore going around to racist pizza shops to fuck the owners.
Yes. Yeah, it's Rob Schneider having gay sex with Danny
Aiello.
Danny Aiello. I was about to say Paul
and
Dano.
Spike Lee.
I was about to say Paul Dano, but it's Danny Aiello. I got him confused.
How about Paul Danny Aiello? And he's like, I'm the joke over here.
Imagine if it was Paul Dano. Turn the speakers off.
that's kind of what they did in There Will Be Blood, because I feel like that character is very against type for Paul Dano.
Yes. Well,
Like that seems like that'd be
okay.
more of like a
You know that he had to prepare for that role in like 2 days
There will be
right,
because
blood.
yeah, because he's supposed to just play the
he was just
brother.
supposed to play. They weren't supposed to be twin brothers. He was just supposed to play the guy who tells Daniel about the oil, and then the guy who was supposed. And funnily enough, and that character was named Paul. And the original guy who played Eli, I think his real name. Everybody had their own names, and the guy who was originally playing Eli got fired, and Paul Dano took over the role. And I don't think that guy has been in movies since then. I think it kind of like shook him away from like
Wow.
working in the industry.
That's a funny way to describe movies, though. Everybody had their own names. It's like, yeah, I think every character has their own name.
No, but everybody, no, but like Paul, Daniel, Eli, they all like their characters had,
Oh, you mean they had
uh,
the actors' names?
they had the actors' names. Yeah.
Oh
Oh, okay. I
wow.
thought you
Oh
were like
wow.
each character had a name. It's like, yes, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it
Oh
wasn't.
wow. So Paul Thomas Anderson wrote it like he read a sketch in like like in UCB, like, all right, Robbie says this, Dalton says this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Um Nick and I were talking about the Jim Downey episode of Conan, the podcast, and Jim Downey is in There Will Be Blood because Paul Thomas Anderson like loves him. And I think I forgot what this. Did you get to that part yet, Nick?
No,
It,
but I only listened to the 11-minute clip where they were talking about Norm, and then it flipped over to a different episode.
okay, well, if I recall, Paul Thomas Anderson offered him a role in There Will Be Blood, and I think Jim Downey thought he was like fucking with him because he's not an actor. And like Robert Smigel, I guess, like had to like knock on his door and be like, "Hey, why are you blowing off Paul Thomas Anderson?" Like he had to like he like call. He's like, I might be fucking up the story, but it's something like that where he like almost wasn't in it because he just thought it was like a bit.
That's so
Right.
funny. Yeah, like, and I think the same thing. Like, Paul F. Tompkins is in it. Paul Tompkins has like two lines. He's the guy who runs out saying, "Mr. Plainview, Mr. Plainview, come
Yeah,
back."
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that Daniel Day Lewis like screamed in his face. That's so nice to imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, his bow tie spun around.
And woo!
Yeah. His cigar exploded and his bow tie spun around.
Of COVID, like in 2023, imagine how afraid he was of Daniel Day Lewis as Daniel Plainview just screaming in his face. And then when the camera's cut, he's not like, I'm just kidding, by the way, it's a character. He's like, I'm actually this guy and I'm actually mad at you.
And you
He's like,
know
I
that
just wanted to go
Daniel
back.
Day Lewis, we saw that he put like authentic 19th century germs in his mouth too before he spit on Paul F. Tompkins.
I
Hmm.
don't get that like that degree method acting, because if he was actually method acting, when you like look at a camera, be like, what the fuck is that? Like when you like be like baffled by
That's a good point, Rod. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
he
doesn't
should
make
have
any
run off the
sense.
set screaming.
Yeah,
What sorcery are
there's
these?
devils around me.
Yeah. Is there an imp inside of this machinery?
That'd be God, man. That'd be so. Every time you do a movie set like before the 1850s, you're just racist to every black crew member on set.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's probably what Jim Carrey did as Andy Kaufman on Man on the Moon. I heard that he behaved like a way bigger dickhead than Andy Kaufman actually did.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
that I think that's like, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Wasn't
Well,
it
there's
like
there's
that?
a
That one wrestler's family was like, "What the fuck is this guy's deal? Why?"
yeah. Well, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense because Jim Carrey acted like Andy Kaufman doing an Andy Kaufman character, but Andy Kaufman himself wasn't like that in
No,
everyday
Andy
life.
Kaufman didn't even talk like that.
No.
Yeah, he basically acted like Andy Kaufman on Letterman, but 24/7, which is
Yeah,
very like, what's the point of that?
It's pretty
yeah, he's
gay.
a well, Jim Carrey is a mental retard of the highest order who
But
killed his
sometimes it
girlfriend with
pays off.
herpes.
Sometimes it pays off in incredible performances like The Grinch. Only a true psychopath.
Yeah. I
That's
love
good.
that for Jim Carrey. His like magnum opus, like what he sees. It seems like he seems to feel the most fulfilled in his entire career in cinema, playing Dr. Robotnik.
He's
Yes.
great in it too.
He's
He's
very good in
fantastic.
both of them. He is good at that, but it's the way he's like acted about those movies and talks about them is he seems to derive like a lot of joy and fulfillment from being Dr. Eggman.
Well, it comes through in the movie because I watched that movie and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize Jim Carrey had been phoning in everything else he's been doing since 2003.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Where
he
was
was
this for Mr.
committing.
Popper's Penguins?
Ah, yeah,
I
I was just
know.
about to say.
Or Yes Man.
Yeah.
He did not
Yes,
give
man.
anything.
He's done
Fun
so
with Dick and
many
Jane.
he's done so many turds, like so many just like dog shit, like similar movie, like cookie cutter type movies that like that Leap Day William thing they did in 30 Rock where he played, Jim Carrey playing that character is just
Mhm.
making fun of his career. Like they boiled
Yeah.
it down to its essence where he's like running and
Mhm.
he's like I fixed my relationship with my son and I told my wife I love her and I won the big case. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography now. He didn't have a single good movie between Eternal Sunshine and Sonic.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? The gay sex movie's good.
Oh, I
Oh,
love you.
that's a good
So
one. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good movie.
And the TV show's all right. The kidding.
Kidding. Is it good? I didn't
Kidding.
see it. I heard it was good, but I could not bring myself to watch it.
Yeah,
It's very Michelle Gondry, quirky. It's good, and he's good in it,
it's a
if I
bummer.
recall.
It's a fucking bummer,
Yeah,
dude. It's such
it's
a
not a
sad
fun
show.
show to watch. Yeah.
No.
Did you like it,
Um,
Dalton?
I saw the first season. And I just was like, man, I'm fucking sad as shit right now. This is so sad.
Yeah. Oh, Barry Rothbart's in it. Remember him?
Barry
Yes, so I
Rothbart,
did a show with Barry Rothbart at the Alamo Draft House, and
early
or no,
life.
what?
Is he an early? Is he an early life? Early lifer?
I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Rothbart. Hmm.
Dude, do you remember Barry Rothbard is one of those guys. He's nice for sure, but he's one of those guys where it's like he has a Rogan episode and it only has like 500,000 views. You know, like
Only.
he was on it just before it made you a star.
Oh
I
yeah, well,
Um,
because he was big in when I moved to LA, I got him on my stand-up show, and I was like, "This is a big get," because he's in Wolf of Wall Street.
I know
yeah,
this
no,
guy.
his and
I
his act
opened.
was about being in Wolf of Wall Street
I
when I did a guest spot for him.
Yeah, I know this guy. I
He's
opened for him years ago at Hyenas. We had pizza together.
he's a nice guy.
And he
I don't
did
want to shit
something
on him.
psychotic that I've never seen anyone do. He put salt on his pizza.
Mm.
Ah, well, maybe if the sauce is sweet.
I heard he lived in those tunnels.
No, 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 no.
Oh man, folks, the magic of
I'm
us.
trying. I listen when we talk about this. I have to like keep all. I have to get. I've got to keep like my weights on like Piccolo because if I take them off, you'll never be able to release this podcast
I know.
in terms of tunnel speak.
I just slip back into Loud Boys mode when I'm on Zoom with you guys.
Yeah,
Where it was the pandemic when you truly could say anything, it felt like.
yeah. This is a reunion. I mean, it was over, and now we're back, folks. I didn't know that it was Jeb Bush coined that term, like both of
What?
those.
It's over and we're back.
He tweeted that or something, right? Like it
Oh,
was
I
like
thought you coined it, Dalton. Honestly,
no,
because I remember
no,
you'd start like every Loud Boys episode by going, "We're back."
no. I just steal everything, but I think I just had like picked it up through like some sort of like social media osmosis. Like I'd seen it before, and it was just
Hmm.
like a fun thing to say. And it's not. I mean,
What
I don't
about
know. It's two words, so
how about Osmosis Jonestown?
that's good.
And
That's good. Yeah.
Hmm.
it's I don't know.
AIDS.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's
Something
it's
like that.
it's the movie. It's like if Bill Murray got AIDS and then all the white blood cells in his body were ritualistically committing suicide.
Yeah. No, that's the twist actually is that it's like the white blood cells are yeah they're trying as hard as they can to save somebody from dying of being sick, and then the twist at the end is that guy's in Jonestown and he drinks the
Yeah,
cyanide
all right.
potion.
Thank you
Oh,
guys for the
sort of like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Robert Pattinson 9/11 movie. Like we
Yeah,
pull
and that's
back.
exactly what
Yes,
it's like. Yeah, yeah, we
yes.
zoom out and we see Jim Jones in a
It's
chair. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And there was
yeah.
nothing leading up to that. There was no indication that that was going to happen.
Thank you guys for the assist on that. Wow, because I felt like I was like I'm going to be buried in deep on that one, but I
See,
said
No,
it
no,
anyway.
no, no. We would never.
that's what they say. They say every writer's room, like the optimum number is like three people just
Mhm.
bouncing ideas
Yeah,
around.
I kind of feel that way about podcasting too. Like I feel like three is like the perfect amount of pepper.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Nick and I were, by the way, Nick and I were also talking about to wind it back a little bit. Bill Murray also not in that many good movies.
In terms of movies that are comedies, there's maybe like two that he's good in. He got way better. That's why, and I'll extend this to it's why it's sad we never got to see John Candy reach Bill Murray's age, because I think John Candy's funnier than Bill Murray. But man, I would love to see him in like old Bill Murray roles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you think of him as like the '80s guy, right? Like because the '90s stuff was all like kind of a commentary on his '80s stuff, right? In a way.
Yes.
But yeah, there's really just Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters
Caddyshack.
and Scrooged is pretty good.
Groundhog
Scrooge,
Day.
Scrooge is
Scrooge,
good.
you know what? Scrooged is also kind of Ghostbusters. Like it,
Yeah, yeah. I think Scrooge is about half good. That's my take. He's good in it though. It's a good dry run for Groundhog Day, I think. His '90s is
yes.
great. His '90s is fantastic.
Steve
You got What About
Sisu.
Bob? By the way, the What About Rob podcast, everywhere you go to
Right. What about
whatever.
yes, of course.
Yes. What
Uh,
about Rob podcast? Nik is in
I
Chicago.
just do stand up. If you want to see me, come to Chicago and catch me doing a
Everybody,
show.
SWAT Nik. He's in
he's a free
Chicago.
agent.
There's not enough room in this apartment to swat me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, nobody that lives in a shitty apartment ever gets swatted. It's always like big time Twitch streamers in their fucking
Yeah, they
mansions.
always have time to hear them because they always hear people coming upstairs. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah,
It'll be
exactly.
immediate.
Yeah. Yeah, if I got swatted, it would just be like four other people that I live with being like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, oh, sorry.
By the way,
I was playing Grand Theft Auto. I didn't mean for this to happen.
They
did
kill
Fish
your
Tank get
roommate's
swatted?
dog.
The Sam
Yeah.
Hyde thing?
Do what?
Did
Did
it?
Fish Tank get swatted?
I thought that was a
I
joke. I
know
didn't think that actually happened.
there was a wellness check, and that's happened both times, I think. Both times they've done fish tank, they've like called cops to do wellness check, which is
That'd be
actually like
funny.
what that is correct. Like
Dude,
that is
Oh
what
yeah,
should be
I
happening.
gotta be honest. Sam Hyde's off the
just
fucking rails. I don't like Fish Tank. It seems too mean spirited.
Yeah, fish tank. This season especially is like every time I've checked in, I've just been like, oh, this should not be happening.
Yeah, I saw something where
it
there
kind of
was.
reminds me.
Go ahead.
The difference between season 1 and 2 reminds me of like Ren and Stimpy versus like the reboot of Ren and Stimpy, whereas like season 2 like kind of skirted the line pretty well. I mean, it was already evil and mean spirited, but I feel like he like leaned into that way too much. And this one, I also haven't watched too much of both, but that's the impression I'm getting from people who do watch a
Yeah,
lot of it.
I was like an ardent MDE apologist for a while, and like the more I see of Sam Hyde, the more I'm like, yeah, this guy seems like a real piece of shit.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think the thing that's creepy about him, aside from like all the obvious shit, is like the fact that he will just do like actual self-help advice videos,
Oh
and
yeah.
he will say stuff that, and it's scary because like he'll start with a seed of like, okay, I can see that, but if you finish it, you're like, this guy's nuts, and kids are really listening to him.
Yeah, I've
He
watched
also
some of
does
that
self
self
help.
help stuff, and it is like malevolent.
Yeah.
It's so dark.
It starts out sounding like you should cut toxic friends out of your life, and then it's like move
Yeah.
into the woods, go into a cabin, buy some fertilizer, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
man, like I don't.
I also feel like it's the only self help I've seen where anyone who listens to it is just going to feel worse about themselves by the end of what he's talking. What
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
saying.
that's how
Yeah,
I stopped.
yeah.
I stopped paying attention to anything he's been doing because yeah, he just comes across as like very insidious, and like that's the thing with Fish Tank is it's like I don't even know what the prize is, but it ain't worth it. Like I
Oh,
saw,
it's like 50 grand, I think.
yeah, I saw
Oh, that's pretty
something.
good.
Yeah,
That's as
they
much
ain't
as the
bad.
NBA in season tournament.
I saw something where there was a guy, and we'll start the show here in a minute. I saw something where there was a guy who was bowing up to this girl, and it was already a fucking problem. I was
Oh,
like,
yes, dude, that guy,
yeah,
Oh
Jimmy.
yeah, I
and
saw that.
yeah, and Sam is standing across the room. Like I guess like he had to have known that this was gonna escalate. Like he's
Yeah.
waiting. He wants something to happen
Yeah.
because this guy's clearly about to wail on this girl. And
Well,
when he
It's
finally steps to her and he's about to put hands on her is when Sam finally steps in. But the tone of that guy's voice and just his stance, like everything indicated to me, like yeah, this guy's about to beat up this woman. You should stay.
so
yeah.
Dalton, did you see the follow-up to that?
No.
What that escalated to was later in the show, he threw a croquet mallet at her that allegedly hit her, and he like
That's
Like
what I
the
saw.
screamed.
like the book The
And
Shining, like the fucking mallet that he uses in the book.
yeah, yeah, he was like Steven Weber, Jack
Yeah,
Thorne.
the Steven Weber Shining. Yeah.
But but
Uh-huh.
and so then they
All
were like,
work and
okay,
no Jebediah Goldstriker makes Fish Tank a bad place to be, Jack.
so they kicked him off the show, and I was like, all right, responsible thing to do. Then they brought him back. They brought him back to have him like do challenges, and it's like, all right, come on, man. Like this, like this guy's not safe to have around. This isn't funny.
No, yeah. Sam's a
I'll say,
troll. He gets off on just like being a dickhead.
Yeah.
I
yeah, I'll
think
say
I
one
think
Oh, I
last
think
the
he's a
thing.
no. I think he's a nice guy. If you really pay attention,
he
Yeah,
well that's
yeah.
the
if you
thing. He
person.
he there's times I've listened to him where he seems level-headed. And then there's other times where I'm like, this is an unhinged sociopath. This guy is like just wants
Yeah,
to stir the pot and like get people to the boiling point for his own like yucks because he
yeah,
obviously has the talent to do cool shit and he's utilizing his like powers for evil.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. I love when he
exactly.
rants about like the degradation of society, and it's
Yeah.
like you are the co-creator of Fish Tank. Like what? You're having
Yeah,
people like shit in buckets and beat each other up.
doing blackface and holding spears and
Yeah.
doing like ooga booga. That was, I mean, that was crazy. I was like, why are you doing this to them?
Because he thinks it's funny to
I
ruin 12 people's lives, which
And
is
I
what
will
he's doing. Even,
say, whatever that character is, the Ronald McDonald Colonel Sanders plantation owner, funny character.
yeah,
That is
it's a
very
great
funny.
character. I talk about
But
this with our friend Sam on Line Boy. Sam is such a very bizarre mix of very silly and very evil. And so he'll do something very silly that'll really make me laugh, but then he'll just get too evil or something,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know.
uh,
One last thing at Skankfest, I was talking to our mutual friend Cassie, and well, she was in the circle, and I was talking to someone else about Sam Hyde at the thing, and she's like, "Wait, who are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, have you seen that big ugly guy?" And she immediately was like, "Oh, that guy!" Like just from the descriptor, big ugly guy.
yeah. Well, he and I are kindred in that way because I've not really on purpose, but definitely look as bad as I've ever looked, and
Yeah.
have garnered the attention of more beautiful women than I ever have.
Hey, I'm dude,
You
me
know what,
too.
dude? It's a flex. It is a looking bad and not caring is a
Yeah,
huge flex.
women
It's
asking
true.
me to look at their titties and comment on them.
You
Yeah,
think you're
you've
gonna
set
find a
up quite
wife this way?
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna marry me an OnlyFans girl.
You know
nice.
what? That's
That's
exactly what you
perfect.
need.
Yeah, I think
That'll go
that'll
great.
provide the stability I need as I move forward in life. Is
That's it, y'all. I'm done with having mental breaks. Immediately marries a whore.
hey, look,
A
Wow.
she'll
compromised
pay my
slut.
cell phone bill. She'll pay my cell phone bill. Folks.
Men will literally marry an OnlyFans girl before going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, oh, but that would literally be Patreon BF OnlyFans GF.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it
Yep.
would. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. That you know what?
Now,
That works
Dalton,
out.
let me ask you a personal question. If you get with an OnlyFans girl, will you like fuck them on camera? Will you put on like a V for Vendetta mask and
Yeah,
dick
yeah,
them
I'll put on
down?
a Guy Fawkes mask and let her hit me in the Amazon position. Sure,
That would be
we'll
sick,
do it
dude.
Amazon style. That'd
I
be
want to
fun.
see that. I want to see you in like an executioner's hood fucking your girlfriend anonymously.
Yeah, yeah, I would do that. I mean, probably wouldn't be too anonymous. Like you would hear my voice and be like, yeah, oh,
I think
the titty
that'd be
review
great.
guy.
You start with these. You should do a rack reaction mid fuck
While I'm fucking my girl, yeah, that'd be
while
cool.
you're fucking her. Yeah. Hey y'all.
Or you could
Yeah.
do an audio commentary on it.
Hmm.
Actually, you should do it. You should do it while another guy is fucking your girlfriend. You like she's getting fucked really good, and then you walk into frame. Hey y'all.
Cut commentary.
Yeah, cuck.
Like, yeah, cut commentary.
Yeah.
Director's cuck.
Yeah, on
Director's
the
cuck commentary.
yeah, it's only available on the 4K Blu-ray. We're getting back to physical media, folks. I think it's good to own a bunch of shit that clutters up your house.
Absolutely.
I do think physical media should make a comeback.
Let me show
Um,
you all my look at this. Look what I
Did you
got
watch
for
that
Christmas.
Netflix movie? The Netflix
I
movie,
am physical
it was the one
media
the
up
Obamas
right now,
produced.
dude. Oh fuck this. God damn it, my background's fucking it
oh
up.
yeah,
Oh
Nick,
well.
you have looked insane the entire show so far. You like,
Because I know
Yeah.
because I got a woman in the back of me,
yeah, no,
which
not
is
just
not as
that.
funny as I thought.
It's
What?
like it's also like casting onto your teeth and
Oh
your eyes. Yeah,
really?
dude, you look crazy.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna get rid of it.
No, that's fine. Keep it.
No, no, no.
Um,
It's not as funny as I thought it would be anyway.
I
folks,
thought it was Caitlyn Jenner.
It is
who
Caitlyn
who
Jenner.
was that?
That was Meg. That was Meg Foster, who I always get confused with Dale Dickey.
Okay. And folks, now we start the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the magic of
Wait, I want to see
cinema.
Nick's DVDs.
Uh,
It's just blowout and after hours and chimes at midnight. Doesn't matter.
okay.
I mean, just to
Nice.
Just,
American masterpieces.
yeah,
I saw
cinephile.
Chimes at Midnight at this. Is it good? Do you like Chimes at Midnight?
Chimes at midnight is a very dear movie to me, specifically because like I do like it, and me and my grandfather bonded over it.
Oh, that's nice. I saw it at the old Cine Family on a bad date, and I'm wondering if I don't like the movie or if it's just the date was bad.
Well, if you don't like Shakespeare, it's like if you're not
I
really into
like
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Well, I mean, it's cool. The thing that's cool about Chimes at Midnight is that it blends like five different Shakespeare texts into one movie. All the ones that John Falstaff is in. So like it's
Mm.
kind of I don't know if a movie had done that like before that, like blended the texts together into one thing. And so that's kind of cool. And the battle scene is really cool. The battle scene looks like Saving Private Ryan. But
I'll give it another shot because I also was not very educated on Orson Welles before, but I'm a big fan now.
yeah, I'll even like the movie has parts where like it's definitely aged, but all the shit between him and the print, like all the shit about like Falstaff's friendship with the prince is really good. And the
Nice.
stuff where he's like womanizing like the women in the is not as it's a little sillier, but I love it.
Hmm.
I like Shakespeare. I like that Amanda Bynes movie. She's the man.
Oh, she's the man.
Yeah, the
David
twelfth
Cross is
night.
in that.
Yeah, the twelfth night movie.
Yeah.
David Cross is funny in that movie too.
Yeah, he's the best
Yeah,
part.
he's good. Yeah, he can be good and stuff. He's good in the Squeakquel. He's good in Chipwrecked.
Remember when people got mad at him for like selling those movies out?
Yeah, I remember he was like he was on Conan when that came out. I think it was Chipwrecked, and he was just like, "Don't go see the movie. It sucks."
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he was mad they made him go on a cruise. I think that's probably why people are like, okay, dude.
Damn, I would love to
Wow,
be.
did they actually film it on a cruise ship?
Yeah,
That's what he said.
they made him wear the costume. Uh, and so it's like his face is not even in the shot or whatever. Like I don't know. Like I would love to be successful enough that I'm annoyed about having to go on a cruise because
I
it's
Dude,
think
just a
that's why people thought it was tone deaf. Like he didn't say like it's a bad movie, don't see it. It was he was don't see it because I was inconvenienced by this cruise.
I would love to go on a
that's so
cruise.
funny.
Dude, it's like all these comics complain about having to do cruise ships, but it's like fuck, dude. Even if I'll bomb on a cruise and I'm hitting the casino, dude.
Dude, have you
Casino
seen
on the
Yeah,
there's
boat.
Adam Sandler's very first movie is him. He's plays like a guy on a cruise ship who
going
becomes a
overboard.
stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shecky Moskowitz.
Whoa.
Who named that?
So he's always been Jewish. Interesting.
That sounds like that sounds like it was
Interesting.
named by that sounds like it was written by an anti-Semite.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Hey, what's this Jewish guy's name, man? Shecky
Shecky
Moskowitz?
Moskowitz.
yeah, I thought that was the guy that crawled out of the sewer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
That was old Shecky
Oy, oy,
Moskowitz.
oy.
Shout out John
Those
Moskowitz.
tunnels are, what's so funny, man? I posted those. I found out inadvertently through getting too excited about the tunnels on the first night that it happened because like all those videos were going up. And then I searched tunnels under Chabad, like for news about it. And the first article was actually from like December 23rd. So I was like, oh, I've been fooled. This is actually like old news that's just getting pushed onto my timeline. But no, it happened twice. Like that's
What?
what that is. That it happened. There was a much quieter instance of it that happened like a couple days before
Well,
Christmas. I
there
think they
had
found
to
like
have
another.
been because for the city to send out like cement trucks and the NYPD, there had to have been like something that happened prior to that,
Yes, yes. So, and it had only been reported on by like local Jewish news websites, like literally in like
like
Brooklyn.
PayPal or no,
Yeah,
that's a Mark Norman joke. Sorry,
Yeah.
like
Hey,
yeah.
pal.
yeah, forgive me.
But so, dude, I was so like, and because I was posting in the group chat, and then when I saw that, I was quietly like, oh, I guess I got fake news again. But no, like morning came, and I was vindicated as I always am. And I just thought I could not believe that they did it twice. That's so funny.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy. Like, I think it probably made news because of like the Israel stuff, also, you know.
I mean, I think it made news because it's crazy to dig unauthorized tunnels in New York City.
No,
Like,
I think it's both. I think it was a combo. It was like a freak, crazy New York City story mixed with like, because like the Hamas tunnels were like such a big part of like
right.
the
yeah,
Israel narrative thing. So then the irony of Jewish tunnels
It's
made it very, I think everyone on social media was like, this is such an easy dub. It's crazy.
it is
hmm
funny how like that seems to be every single thing where they're actually no, I think you're the one digging tunnels. Like
yeah.
Well, what's
everything.
weird is I was reading into it, and Don, do you remember that in New York they just slapped that like one guy's like, "Have you met the Messiah?" Like that random ass like rabbi guy on stickers like on in Union Square and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
So apparently they did it because they're like extremist students, I think here from Israel on a visa, and they all believe that this guy is the Messiah. And in like 1985, he said they wanted to expand that particular synagogue, and they were
Uh-huh.
following his decree by building the tunnel to expand it.
That's so I mean, that's
yeah.
so wild.
I think the like that group of Jewish people are they are like the I guess they are like the ISIS of Jews or something. They're like extremists or something. Yeah.
Well, do
We're
you
nice. We're nicest.
we're nicest.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
do you know
I
what's so funny? I love this detail. So obviously, when they were like, obviously, there's a lot of dirt and soil that they like couldn't transport
blood and
because people would be
soil.
like,
I yes.
people would be like, "Hey, where did all this dirt come from? Like, are you digging under the?" So what they did is they just like filled in all the women's restrooms with dirt. It's just like that's so funny to me, dude. That is where they would put it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the women aren't allowed to do anything anyway, so
Yes, you better
yeah.
not be pooping in there. That's disgusting.
Yeah. They do,
Yeah.
yeah, they do share a lot of like the same radical views as like all those guys who talk about like haram and stuff, where it's like a woman shouldn't have her period, woman
Yeah,
shouldn't
I
go.
mean
Oh yeah.
they are like being a Orthodox or Hasidic Jewish woman is like it's terrifying.
Yeah,
There was a documentary about it that I watched on Netflix where I was like, Jesus Christ, these women are having a tough
Yeah, it's
time.
probably not that different from being in like a part of like an extremist Muslim society, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, actually, I heard that actually
or
those are
Sharia
nice.
law. What's that? Oh, yeah,
Sharia
me
law is
too.
not a big deal. Come on, Robbie.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
my
not a
nice
big
Sharia,
deal.
mouthful.
Yeah,
Yes, my favorite
my
song.
my 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 Sharia.
My. Hey.
we
Do
could
do
also do
do do.
Shakira law, and it's my hips don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Folks. By the way, speaking of Jews, Hollywood, the magic of cinema. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is where I seen them before, a celebration of guys only on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ching, bing, 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 did fill her up? Welcome. This is a jubilee
how did
in which
Mencia get in there? By the way.
we riffed that out on a Corn About Rob Fed episode.
Oh, okay.
We were laughing about D to D, and I was like, I think you said like put that in the station tag.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why I was like, that's a very funny Dalton, and I'm such a narcissist. Of course, it's the thing I said to do.
it was fun. It is funny. It's a good addition.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is a jubilee in which we celebrate the real heroes of Hollywood, the titans of Tinseltown, the guys, the unsung of film and cinema. But today, the guy we're talking about is actually a girl.
Yep.
I hit a mallet on my head.
Yeah, with a
My
guy's
tongue rolls
name,
out.
a girl with a guy's name.
Yeah. Dude, at first when you told me that we were doing Dale Dickey, I was like the surf rock guitarist.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
not gonna lie. I had to Google who this person was.
Well,
Oh,
you definitely she is one of the ultimate guys because the minute you see her, you're like, oh yes, 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 this
yeah.
horrible woman.
She looks like every Southern guy's aunt who just like
Right.
chain smokes
Well,
Right.
she
and
she
Oh
had
my
I
God.
had so I had Meg Foster up behind me because she and Meg Foster have the same thing. We're like, okay, so like Dale Dickey, and I've watched her in stuff where she had to only be like 50, and she looks fucking 80.
dude, she's
Like she
always
has like
I can't
she
find any like photos of her looking young.
she's always been 100. Dude, like by the way, I don't know if you guys watched the movie I recommended, but I watched that movie last night, A Love Song. Beautiful movie,
yeah.
incredible film.
Mhm.
But when they do this like cool thing at the beginning where it's like Samurai Jack, where nobody's talking and it's all these like wide distance shots, so you don't even see her really.
Yeah.
And then like 8 minutes into the movie, I think there's finally a shot, like a close up shot of her face, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, dude, she looks so rough, dude. It's like some combination of like Leonard Cohen and the Crypt Keeper. It was so like the lines in her face are so deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
I'm
she's got like Tommy Lee Jones face. Like it's
I'm
crazy.
Yeah,
uh, I'm very
but
unlucky I'm attracted to redheads because a lot of them do not age very well at all. It's because they have
no,
like very
No.
fair skin. It's the sun attacks their skin.
yeah. Well, I mean, she's obviously like it at least chain smoked at some point in her life. She has all the like markers of somebody
She does
who
have like casino girl face,
she
casino
dude
woman
she
face.
yeah, she
Yeah.
has slot machine face for sure. She's just sitting in a casino for like 12 hours chain smoking.
Yeah.
But I mean, like a lot of character actors, like Nick and I talked about in the last episode, which we did what, like a year ago. I think it's been a while.
No, no, no. It was only a couple months,
No, it
only a
was
few months ago.
it was a few months ago, yeah. This is a sporadic show, I guess, for now. Um, but like a lot of these character actors, like she has such a like distinct features that it works for her for like what she's able to do in movies, in TV. Um, where it's like, I guess she doesn't have, I don't know, like I don't know what it takes to be a leading person because like Giamatti is a beloved like leading man now with the like the
Hmm.
He
holdovers.
kind of he's a rare he was such a ubiquitous character actor that it was kind of like it was all Alexander Payne casting him in a supporting role and he was just a breakout of that.
Hmm.
And then because he was such a break, and even still I would not consider him a leading man.
Well,
He's still character.
but he's more of he is an ascended character. He's in the realm of like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Somebody
Yes.
who is known but is not a leading man is like Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi, like
Yes.
he might be more famous than Paul Giamatti, but he doesn't lead movies.
No.
No, just Boardwalk Empire. And even that felt like it rang with the dead a little bit.
Yeah. Like
It's
it's
funny. Steve Buscemi comes close in a lot of movies, like Reservoir Dogs and Fargo. I would argue he's almost like the biggest character, and he's
Yes.
not the lead. Those are both ensembles,
yeah, well there's times
but
when like a character actor will swoop in and maybe only be in the movie a few minutes, but they just like kill it so hard that you're like
mhm.
that's all you remember.
I do think Reservoir Dogs. He is the main character, though. I think he has the main character arc. I think,
He is the
Yes.
victor.
But
He's
but that's a total ensemble. His face is
yeah.
not on the. I mean, it's Reservoir Dogs. All the posters are like 8 people on it.
Yeah.
yeah. But
I
I
think
mean
Tarantino put his ugly mug on every poster. I think it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's just barely in it.
yeah, I don't know like what the distinction like how somebody settles into be what's what's going on? Are you in
No,
trouble?
no,
Oh,
don't address that.
no,
Don't
I'm
address
okay.
that.
There's
Okay.
dinner. There's dinner for me. That's
Okay.
what I'm hearing. I'm gonna have to
Um
leave in like 15
Take us
minutes.
down there, dude.
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know like how like what leads someone to settle into the character work. But we need
They're
them.
not attractive.
They're not
Yeah.
That's what
attractive.
it is. They're good at acting, but not attractive. That's the
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
In fact,
Well,
when I auditioned for stuff, when I briefly auditioned for agents, everyone was like, "Oh, you're like a character guy." I'm like, "Oh, that's insulting. That's very
oh, that's my
insulting."
dream, dude. That's my dream is to be a character guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, speaking of not attractive, that's certainly our subject today because, dude, she looks rough. But I mean, it's funny because like she definitely looks. She's always looked like rough and like her. It looks like she has meth mouth. Like she always
Hmm.
it looks like her teeth are missing.
She's been in a lot of movies and TV shows that are like where like meth that are set in like meth country.
Yes, yeah,
Like she's in Justified and as like the big boss of like the like the women's prison.
It's
yeah.
because she has. You guys are right. She has that look of Midwestern Southern
But
aunt. That's
it's
like,
it's the whole package though. It's like the haggard face, the haggard skin. Her voice matches all of that. Her mannerisms, like
hmm,
it all comes
right.
together. The alchemy, the meth lab cooked up something nice when it
Who
gave
was she
us.
in Vice Principals?
She was in season 2. She was like the Danny McBride's like assistant or something, like guard that was working there.
Oh, right.
She inexplicably, it's so funny. She inexplicably has this like undying loyalty to Danny McBride to the point where she's willing to like assault people and die for him.
And this
She's
bitch
awesome in that
works.
show.
She's in so many movies and TV.
Yeah, she's in everything. She's one of those people
And
who,
she didn't get her first role until 34. That's
yeah,
Yeah,
crazy,
well,
especially back in
it's funny.
90s Hollywood.
She's got a Broadway background,
yes, yeah, she was on stage a
Oh,
lot.
which I'd never
Um,
expect. You would expect this to be just like you almost expect this to be like a Safdie brothers casting where it's like they just like found her, you know.
she doesn't
But
look
no,
like somebody you would just find.
she's
Like
not.
mhm.
She's like,
just nodding off on the street.
We
Like,
are giving
yeah.
her like so many. We were just calling her ugly in so many different ways. Like we're not even like, well, she was so talented,
but
of course.
she has to know. She's got to know. I mean,
You guys wouldn't? I think I would.
oh, I would, yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like watching the movie I watched last night, A Love Song. Her role in that as like a leading woman. First off, she kills it. She's amazing in that movie. But also like she approaches it with like such an inner beauty that
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, I would tap that tap that
Yeah.
ass, Larry. Um, yeah, she was great in that. Like it's such a like a quiet, pretty, just like whimsical almost movie, and it was interesting to see her in a leading role because like she carries the movie, and there's not a lot of dialogue in it, so like the movie is carried by how just decrepit her and Wes Studi look in the movie.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but yeah,
There's a movie that I thought Sissy Spacek carried this one movie I saw.
Carrie. Oh, yeah, I get it.
She really carried that movie.
Yeah.
uh,
Um, but
oy, oy, oy.
but yeah, she, Dale Dickey from Knoxville. She's I think what is she like 62 now?
She's
She
62.
Yeah, she looks 1,000. Uh,
But she keeps it. But she keeps it 100.
she keeps it
She
100.
does.
She keeps it 100.
How
Yeah,
crazy would it be if like the face looks like this, but you see her body and it's like she's just completely pristine. You know what I
oh,
mean?
dude, I bet, dude.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Like, I could see having a pretty good body. Like, I feel like you don't make it in Hollywood unless you're pretty fit as a woman.
Yeah.
Unless you go like full Melissa McCarthy, Rebel
Yeah, or
Wilson.
you have like an accent, like look at like Rebel Wilson. She sounded,
Oh yeah,
you
Well,
know,
Rebel Wilson
people.
lost the weight.
yeah, she did. And look, ain't seen her in no movies lately.
That's true.
So,
Oh my God, yeah,
yeah, I watched Winter's Bone a couple nights ago, and
nice.
that was a fucking bummer. I had never seen it.
Well, Rebel Wilson straight up bimbo fied herself. She
Dude,
got like a bunch of
that's
plastic
the
surgery, it
trend
looks
now.
like.
Yeah, you got it.
Bimbofication.
Bimbofication, yeah.
You have to
That's kind of hot.
bimboify.
Like the Mexican bread company.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
She
um,
looks like a totally different person. Oh my God.
yeah, Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got. I guess she
She
got
has
on.
now she looks like a southern like mom, like beauty pageant mom. That's crazy. Damn, dude.
um, but
Hollywood's nuts.
Hollywood is nuts. Speaking of nuts, I got nothing. Um, yeah, if you
Speaking of
guys,
nuts, you want to give her a winter's bone. You know
yeah.
what I mean? All right, find it back.
Have you guys seen that movie?
I
Not in
haven't,
a
no.
long time. It's Jennifer Lawrence is in it. It's about like meth labs, right? Like,
Yeah, it's she. So Jennifer Lawrence plays a teenager. She's like 17 in the movie. I think she was only like 20 when they came out. So
right,
she's very young. She still has like before she got like the buccal fat removal
That was her
face.
right,
breakout role.
Yeah, she has like a very like baby fattish like smooth face. So she looks like a child, and
right.
and it's like her dad has just gotten out of jail, and so the bail bondsman comes over and is like, your dad's out of jail and he's on bond, but like part of the bond is he put up the house, and if
James
he
Bond.
yeah, and if he don't, it's like if he don't show up within the week, then you're gonna lose this house. So Jennifer Lawrence has to go on this like adventure to figure out like where her dad is, and she knows like in she knows that he was a meth cook, so she goes like asking all
Mm,
of her like family and extended family to try to figure out where this is going on, like what's going on, and they keep telling her like you don't stop this, stop following this is only going to lead to trouble. And she eventually like makes her way to some like cousin or uncle, the wife of which I is Dale Dickey. And so Dale Dickey,
mm,
yeah, and so Dale Dickey is like sort of like the mother figure, but also this like abusive hard ass who tells her like, get on out of here. This is only gonna cause problems. And
mm,
yeah, so like yeah, come to find out, her dad was actually killed because he flipped and he was like gonna talk to the sheriff and like something like he stood to do like a bunch of time and he didn't want to do it, so he was talking to the sheriff. So his like extended family killed him. And so
mm,
now Jennifer Lawrence has to like find this body to prove that he's dead, so the bondsman doesn't take her fucking house. Um, and so if it like I don't know, it's just a sad bummer of a movie about like poor people in Missouri trying to not be homeless. And
It's man, cooking meth, like the meth cooking gangs, that like whole like what do you call it? The organized crime of meth is so crazy
syndicates.
to me because it's like it's a drug that like most people, even people who do drugs, you offer them meth, they'd be like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Like
also, like, isn't Adderall better? Like, come on, guys.
yeah,
yeah,
Just take some
yes, yeah, well,
amphetamines.
that's my point exactly. Like if you're living in like fucking Kentucky or Missouri, one of these states, and you're cooking and dealing meth, it's like things are so dire there.
yeah, and
That's
it's
the only
also
option.
and
it's
like
like
you would
it's the same as crack, right? It's like the same kind of thing. Like it's just cheaper, probably.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But then it's funny then that like I don't know. It's always so funny to me when like people like get like when people get like killed over this shit because it's like it's not even a drug worth fucking dying for.
no, it killed my
It
cousin.
just really
Yeah, dude, I think he was like cooking it and didn't take like the
let him
necessary.
cook.
Yeah, let him cook. Hold up, let him cook. Rest in
Mhm.
power.
So
Uh,
did he like die? Did the trailer blow up or something? Like did he
no,
die like in a meth lab?
he didn't take like the necessary precautions. I don't think he really knew what he was doing, so he just ended up like poisoning himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. So it killed him. Um,
I will say this. She is not Dale Dickey, but Jennifer Lawrence is incredibly hot in No Hard
yeah,
Feelings.
I saw the full frontal scene. I wish I
She is
could
hot the
punch.
whole time, and she's funny in it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I wish I
It
could
was
punch
very.
her in her pussy.
Okay.
I wish. By the way, Mia Goth is in trouble for for kicking a background extra, and
I
then
saw
and
Yes,
then
that.
like yelling at him, like humiliating him after. And all I thought was like, what a lucky guy. What a lucky guy.
I can't tell if that story is true because, like, at first I was like, okay, I can see that, but then like the detail where it's like she cornered him in the bathroom and was like, nobody will ever believe you, and I can do whatever. It's like, really? Wouldn't you just get fired from the set? Like if Mia Goth act, like that's so
Yeah,
strange.
she would just say, get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you see
Yeah.
the other story where she punched a waiter at Nobu?
Oh,
Oh, I
so
did
maybe
not
she
see
did
that.
do it.
There's some other story that came out where she allegedly punched her waitress at Nobu because they wouldn't make her bangers and mash. And yeah, I know, right?
Just
she
Damn.
just when I thought I couldn't be more attracted to this woman.
If only there were some red flag that that woman without eyebrows would behave in an unsightly manner, dude.
yeah,
The woman
yeah.
married to Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, if only there was some sign.
Yeah. I mean, I saw
I, I I watched Pearl and I thought she was on the level.
Pearl is one thing, but I saw Infinity Pool and I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of truth to this. This is real."
Well, dude, every time I
What
hear
about
her
Infinite Tim
real,
Pool?
How about
yeah.
what? Infinite
What about
Tin Pool?
yeah.
Okay.
every time I hear her real voice, I'm like, oh, she's nuts.
Yeah.
She sounds like a little like I don't even know what is that voice? It's like a little
Well,
porcelain doll came to life.
Yeah.
Nick, you once said this about comedians, and I think we might have to extend this to actors. Never trust someone without eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true, dude. It's across the board. I mean, unless they're sick, and even then, it's like,
What
do you
about
really
that
want to be
guy
friends with a sick person?
that
I
plays
don't care. I still love her. I hope she keeps working in Hollywood.
what about that guy that plays NoHo Hank on Barry?
Hi guys, it's me, Noho Hank.
Well, I like NoHo Hank, but every time I see like when I see interviews with that guy, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be friends with this guy. He's a dyed in the wool actor. Really, I mean, it's
I mean, like that's a good rule of thumb is just don't associate with actors.
yeah.
That's
Oh my
probably
god.
except
Yeah,
except
they
for
have
character
nothing.
actors, except for the
or
real
or
blue.
character actors and actors who can write or actors who have an extensive background in like theater. Those are the three
Yes.
good actors. Everyone
Yes.
else, every single other actor is a husk of a person.
Mm-hmm. Elon
That's so
Husk.
true.
Elon
Elon
Husk.
Husk.
Elon
Yeah.
Which
Husk.
honestly, Elon's a husk.
Elon
Elon,
is a yeah.
quite frankly, Elon Husk. I saw his recent Rogue and I was watching some clips and it was just funny how he was just like reciting talking points this time as if he was a politician. I liked his
Yeah.
old interview where he's just like being autistic,
Well,
but this time
he's
he's just like,
clearly going insane.
yeah.
He's
I
because
think the Twitter thing broke his brain.
he's hemorrhaging money and like that. I don't know how that loan works. And from what I understand, he put up a bunch of shares of Tesla or something to procure that loan from the bank. And so, like, if the stocks and everything dip far enough, he stands to lose like a lot.
Yeah.
It,
And he had
yeah,
you forget he had like a Teflon public image before all the Twitter
he
stuff.
was an Iron Man too, the best
Dude,
one.
people forget Obama era Musk was like the
Yeah.
hero of all liberals. They were
Yes.
like, he makes all his shit open source. He's gonna save the world. Like
Well,
everybody loved that guy.
I mean, he did make like the one thing I'll give to him is he did like bring like Tesla was a big cool thing, you know. I like the environment and it was the first electric car that was cool.
It's fucking stupid.
Uh
We should have nuclear cars.
I agree.
that I
Thank you,
agree
Nick.
with.
Thank you.
Could you imagine how awesome car crashes would be if we had nuclear cars, dude?
Speaking
That would be
of
amazing.
that would be cool. Speaking of, guess who is cast in the new Fallout TV show?
Walton
Who?
Goggins.
And
Tim Dillon,
Dale Dickey.
Dale Dickey.
Well,
Tim Dillon's in
I think her
Borderlands.
Is
and
she
Walt
playing
Tim
a
Walton.
Dillon's in
ghoul? Is she playing one of the ghouls?
No, she's playing the guy. She's playing the main guy in all the ads.
Yeah, she's gonna be in the
Fallout
Fallout.
4 was fun.
Wait, Fallout. What's that named after? What her teeth did?
Hey,
Hell yeah. Nice, dude. We're being so mean to her. She spoke
No,
at my
she's
I know.
cousin's.
I
fine. I
bet.
do feel. I
I
feel
thought this was
terrible.
a
Like,
celebration, and our whole discussion. I believe Stu. I feel like our whole discussion is like, how ugly is this bitch?
But
I do feel really bad because it's one of these things where it's like if I was ever in a situation where like my career did take off and I found myself at a swanky Hollywood with Dale Dickey, I would want to greet her like without any guilt.
Too
But
late
like
for that, brother.
I know, I mean I feel really bad because I have nothing but admiration for her when I see her, you
Oh,
know.
she's a master. She's amazing, dude. That scene at the beginning of Hell or High Water. She's only in that movie like a few minutes,
Yeah.
but she has one of my favorite lines where they're holding her at gunpoint, and she says something like, "Go ahead." She's like, "Leave now. Only thing you're guilty of right now is being stupid." I thought
Yeah.
that was such a fun line. Like she's so good in those like where she'll just show up and stuff for like a few minutes and just
Hmm.
knock it out of the park. I mean, she's probably
Hmm.
only in. She got like all these accolades for Winter's Bone. She's maybe in that movie 10 minutes.
I love
That
those
seems
those
to be her
characters.
thing.
Yeah, she's barely in the movie, but when she is, she completely overshadows Jennifer Lawrence. Like
Yeah,
there's
she
this
kind
scene.
of. It seems
Go
like
ahead.
she's doing the oh my God, she was in Bloodline. I think I remember in that. She seems like she might do the latter day Bruce Willis thing because she's in so many movies where she just shows up in a bunch of movies for like a scene
Yeah,
or
that's what
like
they
10
do.
minutes
That's
of
that's what
screen
the
time.
guys
I mean,
do.
I think the other thing is she can't be in the movie too long because the cameras start breaking. They have to be cameo roles,
Yeah,
dude.
they're renting all
The
those. They're
lens just
renting the Reds. They're gonna lose the deposit on that. Um,
yeah, right.
yeah,
Well,
she,
apparently, like, there's a big chance someone will like pour water on her and she'll melt. She'll melt.
They're worried that a PA is gonna.
yeah, I liked
Oh
her.
god damn it!
It's
They're
like
letting me over the craft table.
I thought she was good in that Dungeons and Dragons movie when they have to dig up those graves and talk to the
Damn. I was so
corpse.
excited to send this to girls that I want to have sex with. Be like, hey, no, we talked about a girl.
Yeah. By the way, you're also a redhead. Obviously, clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Uh,
Get the hint? Huh? Get the hint?
she spoke at my cousin's commencement. She's from Knoxville, and my cousin went to UT, University of Tennessee,
Is
in
this
the
the
years.
same meth guy?
No, it's
Oh,
the cousin who got rich on OnlyFans.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah,
mix up your insane family lore.
This is a
yeah.
female cousin.
This is a female cousin. Yeah,
Hot
she,
cousin? Well, obviously hot
yeah, yeah.
cousin.
Go check out her. I'll tell you her name after this. You can go look it
Can
up.
you,
It's
yeah, can you
Dude,
text us?
my cousin literally is like a was a fairly notable porn star in the 2000s, and I only
Oh,
like found
yeah.
out a couple years ago.
damn, dude. Your cousin is J Mac.
No, no, my cousin is fucking Eve Lawrence.
I don't know who that is. I'll look it up
Yeah,
though.
might be a little before your time.
My yeah, I guess like those days it was like Belladonna, Dana Diarmond, Jenna
Yeah.
Jameson. I don't know. Girls
My
Gone
cousin
Wild.
Vinny, but he just wait, help me out with these guys.
Okay.
Hey, what the fuck? You're on OnlyFans? What the hell?
Uh,
Yeah, my cousin graduated from UT years ago, and apparently at her graduation, her commencement, the speaker was Dale Dickey. Because Dale Dickey's also from Knoxville and an alumni of University of Tennessee. Knoxville, by the way, very beautiful town, great college town.
Yeah.
I thought except for University of Titties, and I
And
thought this was
speak
the only fans cousin.
and by the way, speaking of Fallout, nuclear, remember in Oppenheimer when they're talking about the where they're gonna have these like sites that they're working on this shit, and he mentions Tennessee.
Hmm.
Knoxville, there's like a town like right outside Knoxville called Oak Ridge. That's what he was talking about. I've been to that town. They have like a whole facility where you can go and like it's like a museum now, but it's where they were working on like the Manhattan Project in Tennessee.
Oh
Um,
wow.
it's really cool. Yeah, they take you through like all the history of it, what they were doing, like all the women in that region, and like all these broke people were getting these jobs there, and they were just told like, "Hey, don't tell anybody what you do for a living,"
Wow.
Wow.
because it was to build the
Uh,
bomb.
yeah, yeah. I was reading about that kind of. By the way, I gotta run, guys, because I
Okay,
have
I can hang
dinner
on for a
dinner
little
with my
longer.
family.
Thank you,
But thank you
Robbie.
guys. Everyone listen to What About Rob podcast, or I could maybe put this on my feed too.
Yeah,
if you want.
we could
But
do a
Yeah.
swap. Yeah.
cool.
What about Rob? Patreon.com/what about Rob?
Yeah. Thanks again, Tom. Let's do this. Let's do one of these again soon. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
just
Robbie.
have
Hey,
a
Robbie, I'm gonna
family
come visit you soon,
obligation.
dude.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Robbie.
awesome. Oh yeah.
What a homo.
All right, now let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Yeah. Did you watch anything in preparation for this?
I did not. I've just seen. I'm just going off like memory of stuff that I've seen of hers.
Yeah.
I should have. But you know what, Dalton? I'll be honest. I had a feeling that you know what's funny? She is good in Hell or High Water. I don't like Hell or High Water, but I did watch her in True Blood in the season that she's in True Blood.
I remember her in that. I don't remember that show that well because I thought it was really stupid.
It
Uh,
is really stupid.
yeah, it's like by the time they get to like Were Panthers, I'm like, I'm out. This is really fucking dumb.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to think of it's crazy. She's one of those. I forgot. I guess she's in Palm Springs.
yes, yeah.
Uh,
I was looking at her filmography, and there's so much stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, I guess she was in that. But
yeah, but she's just like a woman in the. It's crazy how many of her roles are still like woman in bar,
yeah,
like even recently.
I watched that Pirates of the Caribbean thing I sent you. That
Yeah,
like
that was
short.
good.
She does she have any? She doesn't have any lines in that.
No, I don't think, or if she does, she has like one or two.
She's in it for no reason. She just like is like a winch with an eye patch, and she just goes ah, and that's her whole role.
But this is what I love about character actors. There was a great Michael Madsen quote where some interviewer was like asking him about like project selection, and he's like, "Look, man, I'm an actor, and the goal as an actor is to work. You
Yeah,
know,
but it's Michael Madsen, so it's like whatever director is willing to deal with this. It's but
oh,
I mean, I
she's in Dinner with Brett Gelman as herself.
oh,
I do remember that.
I never watched it. I didn't like
It's
that he was married to a black woman at the time. I
well, he's
didn't.
rectified that and married a
He
Zionist Jew.
yeah, he's corrected his ways. He's fixed, dude. Yeah, he's off the rails now.
Oh, she's in Frasier? Who's she? Frasier.
Um, Niles.
Look this up. She's not.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, she's like she's in so like it's like the last episode where it's like looking at these filmographies. I'm like, God damn, dude, it's such an extensive history. I think with her though, compared to the last guy we covered, Emmett Walsh, she's
Yeah.
done more television than movies. It seems like.
Yes, she has.
Yeah, because
Although
I
I don't know, she's done a lot of movies.
she's done a lot of
Not
movies.
as many as Emmett Walsh.
Yeah, because I remember like why she's memorable for me. I remember when I first like clocked her was when she had this recurring role on My Name is Earl. Remember that?
Yes, yes.
As Patty
Mhm.
the daytime hooker.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and I was watching this one episode earlier where she's on trial for soliciting sex, and it's such a funny role because she's like, I ain't asked for money for sex. It was cheeseburgers. She's thinking people were paying me cheeseburgers for sex, fries for a handy, pickle for a lookie. And then they do a recess, and she comes running out later, and she's like, "I'm not going to jail for a cheeseburger handy." It's yeah, she's so funny in that role. That was where I first like became aware of her, was watching that as a kid, and that show holds up. By the way, it's very good.
I need to watch that show again. That was my first exposure to Jason Earl as well. I didn't realize and honestly,
You mean
that
Jason
might
Lee?
be Jason Lee, not Jason Earl. I'm so stupid. Jason Lee, and that might be his like only good performance. That show.
Maybe. I mean, there's that. There's Dave Seville in Alvin
The Alvin and the Chipmunks
the
movies,
Squeakquel Chipwrecked.
of course.
I thought I enjoyed him in Mallrats as a kid and Dogma.
Look, he's good in Mallrats, but is it like it's not great acting. You know what I mean? Like, he really him and Mallrats, and honestly, him and like Vanilla Sky. It's like it almost sounds like he's reading cue cards to me.
Yeah, well,
because he's like you
he's
can
a
tell this guy's a
fucking
skateboarder.
skateboarder. Yeah,
But in My Name Is Earl, he's good. He's actually like really good.
he's good in that. And I don't know where he's from, but yeah, that the like white trash Southern thing fits him for that show. He's very good
He's
at
from
that.
Santa Ana, California.
So no, it's a Jeff Bridges situation.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Uh,
there's a ton of actors who just like they get I love actors who fall in love with putting on a fake Southern accent. Jeff Bridges didn't used to have one
no,
until like recently.
he did True Grit, and he was like, I'll just do this forever.
Yes. Same like Leo clearly loves speaking a Southern accent. Shia LaBeouf can't lose his Southern accent.
Yeah, it's so weird because like people from the South who move to Hollywood spend like thousands of dollars to lose that accent. And
Hmm.
then people from Hollywood will do a movie where they have to do one, and then they're just like, I'm from Mississippi now, forever.
Yeah, I mean that's sick. I did that. I did not to, obviously not because I was never successful in Hollywood, but I used to have like a I would do comedy in DC, and I dated this older woman who was like crazy, and she was like if you want to be successful, you need to lose your Maryland accent. And I used to speak way more like I was from Maryland, and I like mentally beat myself up like you can't fucking talk like this. And I wish I hadn't done it. It's a cool accent.
I know, yeah. I mean, look at Shane sounds like Philly trash,
He
and
does. It's why would you want to get rid of the thing that like makes you
yeah.
distinct,
I
you
mean,
know?
that's what we're talking about today. Like, Dale Dickey sounds like she's from Tennessee.
Could you imagine if tomorrow Dale Dickey, if Dale Dickey heard this podcast and she got extensive plastic surgery with smooth out her face,
She looks like
she got
Donatella
filler and
Versace.
could you imagine? She'd probably become an A-list star, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it could still
Mhm.
happen. Stranger things have happened. People bloom late in life sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm banking on.
I used to, man, sometimes how do you think you're gonna age? Because you got a baby face on you.
I don't know, man, because like I hit it hard for a while, and then obviously everything happened that happened, and so who knows what damage has been done, in the interim between like the brain accident and now, and the just what's happened to me. I could have like really pushed the accelerator on this one.
You could have, but I mean, yeah, but you don't. It doesn't seem like. I mean, also, I guess you got a beard and everything right now. You don't look as like road worn as I would expect.
Right.
But I don't know.
The
I never.
people the people in my family definitely live hard. Like they treat their bodies like dog shit. But no one
Right,
ages. Like on my dad's side, my dad is 60 and he looks like he's maybe in his 40s.
right.
And
But if you looked inside and the organs are like black.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they still live forever. They're fucking miserable, but all of them live forever.
Well, it sounds like maybe you're describing a healthy person.
Yeah, I'm describing someone who like against all odds is still like somehow healthy and looks youthful, but is absolutely fucking miserable.
Mm.
Who just like in defiance of nature is continuing to live, and then just eventually is like 90 in a nursing home with dementia, while her daughters steal her pain medication.
I mean
You
that,
know,
yeah, I
um,
guess that does. I guess that's bad.
sounds like a real Winter's Bone type of
It
situation.
does.
That was like watching that movie. That was the thing, but I was like, I'm too close to this. This is too
Yeah.
similar to. It's more extreme, but I was like, I can identify with a lot of this. Um,
So
it was
wild to me.
yeah, yeah, dude. Like, it's not even, dude. It's weird. Like watching that movie was such a trip for me because it's like poor white Southerners are that way because they're just like stuck in that. They're stuck in that mindset. They're stuck in being that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's such a fucking mindset thing. It's like all these people who are just like trapped by their own, just I don't know, just like who they are.
No, it's funny. I had a so some. It's not exactly. It's not the South actually, but it might as well be. So my grandmother. got divorced, remarried this guy who basically was my grandfather, Bob, and he was from like the mountains of Pennsylvania, and it like which was like like steel mill, coal mining. That was what they did, and but they were like the people you're describing, where it's like they never left. There were like fucking what, a few hundred people in the town. They thought the government were like, these are people who don't have computers, who think the government is like surveilling them. They were his one cousin, and this was in like 2017. So, and my grandfather at that point was like in his 70s, and his cousin's in his 70s. And when they showed up to the house, he was like, "Come around back, I want to show you something." He had built a cannon. He had built a
Hell
cannon
yeah.
that he was gonna use in case like the government tried to take his shitty barren land. And it's just like that. It's like that mentality never goes away. They are stuck in it. Why the fuck are you built, dude? If he tries to shoot that, if he ever tried to shoot that thing,
But the thing that's like asinine about that is like you have like this kind of like engineering ability, and this is what you're using it for.
no,
You know what I mean? Like
yes,
that was the thing. Like, well, any movie like that I was like Winter's Bone or any movie about like those kinds of people watching it, it's like so you possess the business acumen to operate like a meth operation, and that, but you're choosing to do that. That's
that's what I
the
mean.
Yeah, like you clearly have skills that could be used to do something else that would make you like way more money and be far more successful and legal, but you're choosing to do this grimy poor people shit.
Because I think the first part of the problem is that most people, despite whatever like skills you possess, most people actually don't want to leave the town that they grew up in.
Sure.
So if you refuse to do that, and you live in fucking one of those areas, like yeah, what are you? It's not like there's like it's not like there's legitimate opportunities in those places.
I mean, there are now, like with the way the internet is now, because like
True, that's
you
true.
can, yeah, like I do, I'm in parts unknown these days, but like everything I do is online. So I have like I'm building an empire. Uh,
It's true.
yeah. Don't ever say that this network does not make money again, Nick.
I'm
You
sorry, I didn't mean
if
to do
you
that
if
to you.
you
I
want to be part
apologize.
of this network, don't ever disrespect the network.
This is the meth boss talking to that you would be doing it if you didn't have a laptop.
Right.
You'd be giving this
It
lashing
if
to
I
an
didn't
underling.
steal this Chromebook and if the Days Inn set their Wi-Fi to private, then we would not be having this conversation.
Don't
Uh,
you? I bet you would actually run a pretty ship-shape meth lab, though.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I learned what I needed to learn in middle school to know that you got to take the proper safety precautions. They taught us
Yes.
that in that room with all them black tables. You got to put on your goggles.
Yeah. That's oh, dude. That's yeah. Those tables, the tables that had I remember it was outlets, and they also had was there another? There was like something else about those tables. I can't
They
remember
were
what other
great to
capability they
draw
had.
on with a pencil. They were good for,
Yes. Oh, they had all been totally defaced. I mean,
yes,
like every slur, big dicks, small dicks.
yeah. They were fun for doing pencil drawings of dicks with a pencil, but they would be
Did
big
you ever
dicks.
see somebody have to use the thing to rinse their eyes out after they got chemicals in their eyes?
No, that never. I wanted it to happen so bad. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see somebody have to turn that on.
It is like it is almost like Chekhov's gun. When you walk into the classroom for the first time and you see that thing, you're like, I better see that get used in my
Yeah,
lifetime, dude. I need to see that.
yeah. It's funny, it's a good idea to have a well-rounded education. I remember nothing from any of those classes, and none of what I was taught has carried over into my life at all.
The only thing I remember from my public school education career is how many of my teachers wound up being like pedophiles that went to jail. It was like four. Yeah, and one of them like was like one of the science teachers. I so we had a theater teacher who got caught with child pornography. I had an English teacher in fourth grade who got fired for having the kids like sleep on his lap.
Was it like
And
Tyler Perry, like Medea Productions, like like stage productions of child pornography?
Yes. It's like a giant.
Yeah, like the
Did you see the
android.
Tyler?
Yeah, like the
What?
Cats tape that they used to try and sell on the commercial.
Well, and then we had a actually sorry, the this guy didn't get fired, but in retrospect it was like he had to be it too. It was my science teacher in 7th grade. And he was just like real friendly with all the girls and he would like ask them what they wore to bed. I remember, dude, it's so crazy how brazen some of these people are.
Dude, I mean that's why there's all these conversations that have been had for many years now about like teachers don't get paid enough, and I've said publicly they should get paid less, considering how many of them are just fucking criminals.
Yeah, man, it's like it's I had two teachers in my high school get fired for stealing money
Yeah,
from like
and how
going into
many
like
more
lockers.
and how many more for like across the board, like most teachers have zero interest in even doing that job. They took it out of like survival, where it's just like, well, I
Yeah.
have an English degree, I can make $50,000 a year and get summers off. So okay, like
Yeah,
but they don't have a passion for like they're not actually trying to educate. It's a
yeah,
fucking
with rare exception, but it is like it's crazy. I remember my first crazy realization when I got out of high school was like, oh my God, some of my teachers when I was like 16 were like 23.
oh yeah,
That's like nothing.
that's
And but
nuts.
the crazy thing is their coworkers, some of their coworkers were like 55. And it's
Yeah.
like they're doing the same job.
Yeah, I get chills whenever I'm like working a job, like whatever I'm doing for work, and the people that I work with, like when you talk to someone who's been for with the company for like 25 years, I'm like, this you've been doing, you stuck with this long?
Yeah.
I would have killed myself by now. I'd have been walled my whole fucking family.
You would put Ben Wa balls in all of them, dude?
Yeah, I'm trying to shove jingle balls up my family's ass.
Can you imagine that's the crime scene?
That would have been funny if that's how he did it. If he Benoit balled his whole family instead of a Bowflex, it's just like Chinese jingling balls. um,
Oh my God.
it would that would definitely be a reason for the WWE to just never speak of it again.
Yeah.
That would be justified.
Oh my God. Yeah, and like it's a crazy public schools are crazy. Then my mom's a public school teacher, and I'm like, I see both sides of it. But it's like, I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure there's good teachers out there, but I think we should just eliminate fucking education in this country. Just go to YouTube. That's what AI George Carlin said.
I know. I saw that you love that.
We'll get back to the show here in a minute.
I'm sure we will.
Who cares? We don't have to stay on topic the whole time. Well, we insulted her enough. But I watched it and I found it fascinating
Mhm.
because it's not being presented as George Carlin. It's an AI doing an impression of George Carlin that is
Mhm.
also presenting as though it's aware of its own existence as an AI.
Mhm.
And so it gets into this like weird existential territory about what it even means to be conscious, to possess consciousness, and to be a sentient being in some ways. Like, it was really weird. It was
Yeah, but this is not selling me on
yeah,
it.
it was there was something unsettling about it for sure, but it was also like
Mhm.
as just like a new thing, especially like if you enjoy sci-fi, if you've like watched a lot or read a lot of sci-fi, it's definitely like what people have been writing about for years. It's like, oh, this is crazy. This is like,
No, I know and that's why I'm so amazed that like we invented AI. Like I
yeah,
just can't believe we did it, dude.
and
It's the only invention where there's like been hundreds of years of literature about how you should not invent it, you know?
yeah, it was really odd because first, I mean, it's easily for me from what I've seen, it's the most impressive thing that AI has done. It was like I was like watching it going, this is weirdly creative and good for what AI has been and is now. Um,
Yeah, no, I mean I think that like the cope for a long time, everybody's cope with AI is like, oh look, it can't even. Oh, AI's making movies. Well, look, they suck. AI's writing jokes. Look, they're not funny. And I'm like, give it 3 months.
I
And
think what
every time,
I
like,
think what I really like about it, like what really tickles me, is that somehow Will Sasso is one of the architects of the destruction of the human race in doing this.
I know. Well, but you know what, man? Like, based on like, because I've been following his like post. That doesn't surprise me at all. Because like prior to this, he was just like his
Oh, they'll
Twitter
do
feed was.
prior too. I'm sure they'll do prior as well. Yeah.
Is the AI allowed to say it? That's actually an ethical conundrum. Is the Can the AI say it? Having not had the
Can the AI say it?
Can the AI really say it?
Yeah, that is that's the real Star Trek episode of this is can the AI say the N word?
That will be the one thing that AI like. That'll be the N word will be the last remaining shred of our humanity because AI is not allowed to say slurs. Like if you use like ChatGPT, so that'll be the one thing that we will
Data,
have to cling to.
Data, you cannot say that word. But Captain, I used a soft A. I was told it was okay. I don't use the
So,
hard R.
but Will Sasser Speed is all like before this, he was like doing like crypto scams and stuff. Like it's
Will
like so. I'm like I'm
Sasso?
not what.
Will Sasso?
Yeah. His if you look at his Twitter feed, it's all him like buy shitcoin, buy all this whatever the fucking coin is.
You know
So
the breadcrumbs are there. Like he's been in the like weirdly enough does have a connection to sci-fi and all these like speculative ideas because
sure, he's in Southland
he's in
Tales,
Southland Tales, he was in Sliders. Remember
right?
Sliders? He was
Yes.
in a Doctor Who special in the 90s.
Oh my god, it's
Like he was leaving clues.
we should
And
have known.
yeah, yeah, it is strange that him and that I don't know who that other guy is, but because I've seen clips of that show before, and I just always like would see that AI shit, and I'd be like, well, this looks like it sucks. But then
It's I don't know. It's the AI thing, man. I try every couple of weeks I try to be like, Nick, you gotta calm down about AI. But then I'm just like, no, I do because I literally think like eventually the most because I think what's gonna happen is like the people up and coming in comedy, and this is just how it pertains to like what we want to do, are already such sharks. Like we've seen like a level like comedians are sharks on a level never before seen, right?
oh yeah, dude,
The-
dude. Now
uh,
I'm like outside of it now, and it's like I've done worse for sure than probably most comedians have done, but I'm kind of outside of it now, and just like watching it from the outside. I'm like, man, the I can't believe this is something I was like really trying to get into. You know,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's just gonna become like everything like you'll just have people using AI to generate hours of comedy. And I don't think that like I think you're gonna see like a small faction of like intelligent people who can discern good art, like the way there's like a small faction of people who like want to watch real movies. But I think
yeah,
most people will probably be fine with AI comedy and
probably.
will probably be like, yeah, no, it's yeah.
But
Even if you're just using it to write your set.
there's already so much stuff that exists now that is being done by humans that might as well be AI. Like it's baffling to me what's
Yes.
like that I'm fascinated by Twitch streamers now and like I've watched stuff from that guy Kai Sanat and it to me I'm like this looks like an AI. This is like an AI
Yes.
program created like a black guy to play Grand Theft Auto and scream into it. It's such a bizarre and he's a billionaire because of it, but it's so fucking strange to me that that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
14-hour
it just seems I'm saying
streams.
and we'll get back to the show in a minute, but it just seems like this is like another like this is if I get really like because I can get really on like a schizo conspiracy tip with this, and I'm just like this is just like another part of like the mass like there whether it's planned or not like there are so many elements of like dehumanization hitting us from like so many different areas that I'm like this AI thing like I don't know we don't the things that we consume have been completely dehumanized. Eventually the way that we like interact with people will be completely dehumanized. When I was home for Christmas and my uncle is he's a tech guy, he's very into AI, We had another guy at our Christmas party who was like, yeah, actually AI is like really useful because like, I use it to write my emails at work. Like I realized that like I wasn't my emails were being worded a little strongly, so I use AI to write my emails now so that they won't seem as like aggressive. And I'm like, so you will just never learn. So what you're saying is you're like, I'll never put it on myself to figure out how to like socially interact with people. I will let AI do it for me.
Yes.
And I'm just like, don't you see how like that's like that will snowball into something very unsettling.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think of it like if you and I, at least I can speak for myself. If I was a teenager now, I'd be using AI to do all of my school.
But they do. They do.
Yeah.
And it's like on some level, I'm like, okay, yeah, school sucks, but also like I don't know, I'm like using AI taking it just makes like I don't know, man. I don't want to trivialize humanity because then I think that then when that happens, that's when the non-human intelligences will reveal themselves to us, and the UAPs will break through the
Well,
magnetic field.
the Carlin thing tripped me out because like it's obvious that the way this stuff is, it hasn't achieved like actual sentience yet. That's James Cameron shit. But it is like drawing from humanity and like all these things that humans have done and created. So it's like I don't know. It's like this God and like creator and creation situation where like it's made in our image and it's drawing from like our human experience and the things it's creating right now are like obvious, noticeable like simulacra of what we do. But there
Yeah.
is there is like still some like seed of what we are in it, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah. For now,
yeah, I mean for
like
now.
it's in the last year, it's progressed to a shocking degree for me, I would say. I mean,
I
like
mean, yeah, technology's always been that way, but yeah, it's definitely like that was the thing, like watching that special, I was like, all these people are saying like he would never write jokes like this. This doesn't even sound like him. And I was watching it and going,
it
man,
does.
this is fucking close.
It's close. It's definitely close. That was what alarmed me about it. I was like, this is like the tone is pretty on point for
Yeah, like
for most of it.
the voice is, it's obvious it's not him in the voice, but it sounds like him. Like it sounds like an impression, and like the cadence and the writing and like the philosophy of it. I'm like, if he was alive, these are the bit. This is like sounds like a bit he would do about OnlyFans or
Yes.
like whatever exists now, And yeah, it was really uncanny. It was like obviously AI, but it's still in that uncanny valley territory. But it's like, man, they're getting fucking close with this shit.
No, I think like literally by next year it'll be we'll have bridged the gap. I mean, I think that I do think the thing that you're gonna start seeing people use this for is like, I mean, it seems inevitable. People are gonna use this to like talk to dead loved ones. If as long as you have the like the cachet of like information and videos to train it on, that will become like a huge. I promise you, they're gonna do that, and
Yeah, I
that's
do. That is where, like,
terrifying.
could you imagine being Kelly Carlin and like watching
I
that?
know, man.
That does seem mean. That seems like a mean prank on her. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. There was a part of me that did enjoy it, where I was just as like I'm being honest, like as
No, I know.
somebody who digs like new shit and sci-fi and speculative ideas. I was watching it from like a place of curiosity, like, holy shit, this is fucking I can't believe Will Sasso from Mad TV did this.
Yeah.
But then yeah, there was also the part of me that was horrified by it, like, oh, this is really scary.
Yeah. Would you given the option, would you assimilate with the Borg, dude?
Well,
Would you be fascinated by the possibilities of entering a cybernetic hive mind?
yeah, there's a part of me, yeah. Yeah,
It
it would be such a load off, to be honest.
would. It
Yeah.
might be kind of hot too, you know?
Yeah, it would just be like the stressors of having to like take care of myself and make my own decisions and like navigate my own life to for that to go away would be nice.
That would be, yeah, you're no, you're right. You're right. You're right. I don't know, man. I'm so afraid. I'm like I'm getting like so like I'm getting so weird. Like I like
Be
every
careful,
year
man.
that
I've
we
been
go.
there. I've been in that mindset. It can
Well,
end bad.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm off like psychedelics and stuff. Although some of this is definitely informed by like psychedelics. But I'm getting so weird, man. I'm getting so fearful that like more than anything, I'm getting afraid that like death is not the end, and that when we die, we'll just be like, it's not like it won't be like a release or like this like loving like place that you go. It'll be more like you're just like an antelope on the plains, and there are bigger, scarier things that are going to feed off you.
Well, hey,
Except you can't die and you never go to sleep.
that's the final chunk in the AI Carlin special is talking about what it's like to be dead
Wait,
Carl.
really?
Yes, there, dude. There's a whole there's like all these moments in it where it's AI Carlin talking about being dead and existing as an AI and how that's sort of like the afterlife. And he has it's this whole chunk about like aging and decaying and all that in life. And the final line of the special is, so folks, living is dying, and dying is living. Thank you. Good night.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
Man,
dude.
this is how I know I'm losing my mind. I started like, God, that's fucking me up. I started following this guy on Twitter. See if I can find him. And what he does
Is
is
it black or Chinese? It's a black or Chinese guy.
no, that guy. It's a work of art similar
Okay.
to that guy. I follow this guy DJ Kemp. Sorry, DJ K at Daryl John Kemp. And what he does is he takes high definition videos of what appears to be like pieces of ash from fires, but he claims that they're shape shifting elementals. And he'll then like he'll use editing program to repeat like the images over a static background so you can see how the elementals, these like extraterrestrials, are shape shifting before our eyes. And he's like a schizophrenic crazy person who's accidentally making really cool album art. But today I was looking at his feed and I started to feel like God damn, I think he might be onto something. I'm like, that does look like a vessel releasing beer.
Yeah, that I had a similar experience when I was schizophrenic where there were people who were like buying into some of the crazy shit I was doing. They were like,
Mm-hmm.
some of this checks out.
Dude, I'm looking at this because it is amazing art. I'll send some to you, and and that's what I think it's like kind of like fantastic like outsider art. But I literally like I had to stop myself today, because I started to genuinely consider that he might be right. But of course he's not. There's no way.
No,
I will not lose my mind, Dalton. I can't. I have a
don't.
cat. I have a girlfriend. I have fucking rent to pay. I cannot lose my mind.
Yeah, I understand that. I've been through the worst of it, and trust me, you don't want to be getting them calls about unpaid bills. Um, you don't want those phone calls.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, you get so used to just ignoring your phone, you miss your when your actual friends and loved ones call you.
Yeah, how was that, man? I've always meant to ask you because I've like been like well, you've probably gone into it, but I've been like obviously I've been like I've hallucinated and stuff and been out of my mind on psychs, but is it like
It's
when you're in it?
devastating. Yeah, well, I
Hmm?
mean, when you're in it, it feels awesome. Um,
Right. It's like you're not sleeping, you feel like you're right about everything.
yeah, I mean, you feel like Dale Dickey on meth. Uh,
It happens to me. Sometimes I'll write like when I used to do mushrooms, I would like write material on mushrooms and I got it. I'm like, this is a special.
no,
I'm like, gotta take this to the mic, dude.
I genuinely, yeah, I thought I was a fucking genius. I was like, I
Mhm.
am connected to the universe, and I'm like gonna do my best work now. Um,
I I wrote this long chunk when I was on mushrooms that I was like, man, when people hear this, it's gonna like they're gonna be calling me to like begging me, to let them represent me.
that's a big part of it. Like the delusions of it is like so you're gonna through all of your like crazy delusions and conspiracies and the shit you're coming up with that somebody will notice this and
Yes.
it will launch you into the stratosphere.
Well, I wrote this 5 minute bit about about the Jewish weather machine. And
That's a
the
big part of
point
it
of the
too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the point of the bit was that like the big punchline is that I actually think there is a Jewish weather machine.
Yeah, that dude, that's so funny because that's similar to one of the like wackadoo delusions I was having. This was before we got the shitty Hulu History of the World Part Two. There was no hide nor
Right.
hair mention of History of the World Part Two coming out at this time. And this was like obviously this was during the pandemic, and everything was so fucking crazy at the time that what I had truly led myself to believe was that with his infinite wealth and resources, Mel Brooks had established like a Truman Show style production studio in space, and History of the World Part Two was happening currently, and he was directing Earth. Like he was directing the events that were happening on Earth as a rich Jewish man in space.
He Dalton, he wouldn't even be able to make the trip up there.
Yeah, it's an insane. A lot of my conspiracies were tied up in like in entertainment industry and the Jews. Uh, yeah, they were all like entertainment industry based conspiracies. Uh, it was in that way. So it was like rather than like a Jewish weather machine, it was just like a Jewish production studio, like a lot in space that
Yeah.
was manipulating the events on Earth and creating what would become History of the World Part Two. And his final movie would be like some version of what he had directed. Like he would edit it down and be like, "Folks, surprise! This is what I've been working on."
He's just looking at, like he's looking at data from Google Earth and he's like, okay, so obviously we can't use all of this.
Right.
We've got to get this down to 6 episodes.
And it's like
That's so funny.
millions dead from COVID and all this crazy shit. The boat that got stuck in the canal, like everything. I was like, oh, he's doing this, and it's a funny bit.
That's that's way crazier than the bit that I wrote, but that is good, man. That's very
Yeah, yeah.
funny.
I mean, there was a lot of like creativity to what I was doing, until I was like, running up and down the streets and just like ringing people's doorbells and knocking on their doors to like tell them about the conspiracies. Like I warned people about what was coming. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, all that shit felt awesome. And then like as it was really deteriorating, like as things were getting bad and I'm getting hospitalized and all this shit's happening,
Right.
like afterward, like when I came out of it and realized like, oh, everyone that has been trying to tell me how bad this is, how sick I am has been right. That was when that was the darkness beginning
Right, for
because
sure.
yeah, because you don't just like come back. It's like I came back and like tried to be in the world. Like I remember like doing stand up and trying to be around people, but I was just in this like I've described it as like Dougie Jones, like
Yeah.
Twin Peaks season three. Like that was who I was, and then I just realized like I'm gonna fucking die if I don't like figure some way out of this situation. And so yeah, it was very devastating everything that happened. And then like as it was getting worse, as that like the darkness was creeping in more and more. And I found out later that this is like something that happens after like a prolonged episode like that, like psychosis, is you then have something called avolition. Not abolition, not freeing the slaves, but
Right.
avolition, which is just an inability to function. It's like a waking coma where it's like
Really.
just yeah, talking, reading, brushing your teeth, like all the basic shit that you just do normally, routine is all as difficult as like running a marathon. It was fucking
Wow.
all dude. There was like one point when I legitimately thought I was dead. Like I thought like, oh, I actually died at some point and this is hell. And like everything I'm experiencing is just like this fucked up afterlife. And at some point, the world around me is going to dissolve into like the Abrahamic version of hell. I'm actually in a lake of fire. The demons will reveal themselves
Oh my
after they've
God, dude.
tormented me enough with like visions of my friends, family, loved ones, and all of this that's happening right now. Dude, it was it sucked. And then like yeah, and then like a few months ago, my buddy called me and was like, "Hey man, you're gonna die if you don't do something." You know, like he was like, what are you gonna fucking do? Like work at CVS? Like do a podcast and try and do something." Because he just was like, you built up this like goodwill with people. People like you, and he was like, I know you well enough that if you don't try to do something creative, at the very least, you're just gonna fucking kill yourself.
I mean, you know
Uh,
what? That weirdly, suddenly you as you exist now, like as I like observe you, really like pushing yourself on Twitter, reply and like having uh no preoccupations about it, just kind of shamelessly being like, follow me, I'm responding, look at my
I am
videos.
free as a bird,
That's
Nick.
what I'm saying. I'm like that actually, you suddenly really makes sense to me.
Yeah,
And I don't mean that in a flippant way. I'm very struck by it.
yeah. It's liberating because like, and
Yeah.
also like, we were talking about comedy earlier, and I think like it's like with comedy, entertainment, and all the content stuff now. I think so many people just don't know what to do. Everybody's throwing stuff at the wall, and then a lot of people are just following trends and are kind of caught in this like mechanism. Like you see it with podcast, like these comedy podcasts where it's the same revolving door of guests, and they're all structured the
Yeah.
same way, and they all have the same routines. Like they've fallen into this like formulaic thing where it's like we are freer than ever with what
I
we are
know.
capable of.
What's funny is it's self-imposed too. It used to be the money men that would like impose chasing trends on you, and now people do it to themselves because they're
Yeah.
chasing the algorithm.
And I just was like, well, I've already been through the worst of anything that anyone could go through, especially anyone trying to pursue some sort of entertainment career. Like I've been through the death knell. So I was like, well,
Right.
there's nothing stopping me from just like constantly doing crazy shit and uploading it and seeing what people pay attention to and what gets a following.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's paid off. Like, the YouTube channel already is monetized, already
I saw that.
monetized. Um, I got the titty videos. All these OnlyFans girls are asking me to look at their titties. Um, and yeah, I just keep like doing stuff and putting it online and just like, yeah, shamelessly. But I mean, it's all right.
No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that pejoratively.
No, I
I,
know. Well,
I
I think like pursuing a fucking entertainment career is already shameful, so you might as well just
mhm.
approach it shamelessly. Yeah, so I'm free as a bird, Nick. I'm
Yeah, man. No, I admire it. I'll tell you what. I unfortunately, I this is my
I know
this
you
is
got to
my
go
get hard out.
soon.
So I'm gonna my girlfriend's about to hop on to her online class, so I'm gonna bounce out. But this was fun, man. We talked. I feel like we talked about Dale Dickey a little bit more than we talked about M. Emmett Walsh, so that's
Look,
good.
we covered the topic, and that's the goal of the show is touch on it enough that it justifies calling the show what it is.
Yes.
And then then we talk about others. I guess the next time we can really dive into our theories about what OD is going to be.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to talk about that, dude.
Yeah, because he's got me again. He's got me again.
He's got me for life, dude. I don't think you whatever. We'll get into this next time, but I will play anything he puts out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, thank you for doing this.
Yo, this was fun. This was
Yeah,
really
let's
fun.
let's do another one not months from now. Let's do it sooner than that. But
Okay.
I'll think of something and I'll reach out soon. Folks, subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. Subscribe to Go to Chicago and
Find me. Just come
yes,
find me.
find
Corner me.
Nick. Yeah, go to Chicago and just scream Nick's name in the streets.
I'll come. I'll come around.
Yeah, go to the
Corner me
Bean.
at Diner Grill.
Yeah, go to fucking what Ed DeBevick's. What's another Chicago place?
Luminalties.
Yeah, Luminalties, Second City. Just go to all the Knicks stomping grounds. Anyway, thank you,
All right,
Nick.
buddy.
Thank you,
This was
Robbie.
fun.
This was fun. And stop.